In Jiuxiu continent, martial arts are respected, and weak warriors have 1,000 to 10,000 genes of strength, and can crack stone tablets, while powerful warriors can cut rivers and split mountains. There are even more martial arts emperors, who can penetrate the sky and pierce the sky and travel too much. Virtual martial arts decides fate, decides life and death. The weak are bullied by others, and the strong overlook the world. Wuhuan, the innate talent of people in Jiuxiu continent, is the soul of a warrior. It can be said that a warrior's achievements are closely related to his martial arts. There are countless types of martial arts, including natural martial arts, flames, ice spirits, hurricanes, thunder and lightning, etc. There are weapon martial arts, knives, spears, swords, and halberds. There are beast martial arts, white tigers, crazy rhinos, violent monkeys, dragons and snakes. Of course, there are also many powerful alien martial arts, such as maddening martial arts, undead martial arts, martial arts. He can continuously evolve and become stronger as the martial artists. Strength increases. Yangzhou City, the Lin family residence. Lin Feng opened his eyes and stared at the quaint and fragrant room in front of him, a strange yet familiar room, with a helpless and bitter smile in his eyes. It's a big deal. Lin Feng murmured in his heart. His bitter smile suddenly vanished, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. That's right, Lin Feng has crossed over. He was originally a senior in Jiangnan City, China. Because of a car accident, he crossed over to Jiuxiu continent and possessed a family child with the same name as him. Lin Feng was a little depressed, but it wasn't because of his time travel. On Earth, he was an orphan and was brought up by his grandfather. Because of his overwork, his grandfather finally closed it with peace of mind when he saw the admission letter from Lin Feng University. Looking at it, he left a deposit of tens of thousands of yuan, which is very rich in the countryside, for Lin Feng to study at university, just to leave this inheritance to Lin Feng, so he delayed his illness. Lin Feng has always worked very hard. He studied hard and received the highest scholarship every year. He wanted to rely on his own efforts to change his fate and fulfill his grandfather's wishes. But gradually Lin Feng understood that in the age of fighting for his father, hard work did not mean success. During his senior year of internship, the unit held a cocktail party in the hotel. At the cocktail party, a rich kid got drunk with a female student who was interning with him. As a result, the unit walked away in tacit understanding. Of course, Lin Feng knew what was going to happen. So he stopped. As a result, his 4 years of hard work came to nothing, and he was expelled from the school for molesting a female classmate, and the evidence was conclusive, because the female classmate personally identified him. As for the other result, he was in a lawsuit, and the female classmate he helped sued him along with the rich kid. The evidence was all there. Lin Feng, who had no money and no power, didn't need to fight this lawsuit at all. His life it's almost doomed to stay in the role for 10 or 8 years, and then completely derail from society. When he saw the rich boy and the female classmate happily hugging each other and kissing me in an Audi car, Lin Feng grabbed a car, and then rushed towards the Audi with a smile. Lin Feng vaguely remembered that two frightened and dirty faces, dirty in a turbid world. In the previous life, Lin Feng had nothing to worry about, so he was not depressed because of the time travel. What he was depressed about was that he transmigrated into a young master who was a waste, a young master with a waste spirit. This young master of the Lin family, who has the same name as him, was originally a child of Yanhezong's outer section. When he was in Yanhezong, he was bullied by his cousin, beaten to the point of being injured, and then kicked out of the sect, half dead, which is why Lin Feng was able to take advantage of it. Pass through to him. Since I have lived a new life, I will never let the tragedy happen again. Lin Feng, who was lying on the bed, clenched his fists and said to the remnant soul that he was reluctant to disperse. Don't worry, in the future you will be I am you, and I will never allow myself to be bullied again. Incorporating most of the original Lin Feng soul, Lin Feng already knows very well what kind of world he lives in. The strong are respected. As long as you are strong enough, any power needs to bow before you, including the supreme imperial power. In order to become a martial arts expert, in addition to superior talent, you also need a strong heart and a strong will. The former young master Lin Feng was a little cowardly, but now he is different. Having experienced the trials of hardship and the test of death, his will is much tougher than that of the young master Lin Feng. As if feeling Lin Feng's strong will, the remnant soul finally gradually weakened, and in the end, the two souls were perfectly fused together. Boom! At the moment when his soul merged, Lin Feng only felt his soul tremble, causing him to faint and unconscious. I don't know how long it took. Lin Feng opened his eyes again, frowned slightly, and carefully felt the throbbing of that ray of soul. Sitting up, Lin Feng's thoughts moved, and suddenly, a special aura spread in the space. Lin Feng felt that at the moment he was wrapped in a hazy phantom, a black phantom. Have you heard? That trash Lin Feng hasn't woken up yet. I think it's 80% dead. Hee, a waste like him might as well die sooner rather than later, and disgrace our Lin family. In the distance, the voice of the two people talking came into Lin Feng's ears, but Lin Feng did not get angry, but showed a strange look. This voice obviously came from a long distance, but at this moment, he could hear it clearly. Not only that, Chu, it seemed that any disturbance in a radius of several hundred meters could not be concealed from his ears. Moreover, Lin Feng found that his eyesight was better, and even his thinking seemed to be much sharper, and many things he didn't understand in martial arts suddenly became clear. The thought moved again, and a small snake phantom appeared behind Lin Feng, and its tiny body curled up. This was the abandoned martial arts, he was teased. I don't know what kind of snake it was, but it couldn't increase his ability. Twin martial spirits. However, at this moment, Lin Feng was not annoyed by the little snake martial spirit at all. Instead, he looked a little sluggish, and then a bright smile appeared on his face. That's right, the black shadow behind him was a martial spirit, a newly awakened martial artist. Soul, although he still doesn't know what kind of martial soul this black shadow is, but with the addition of the little snake phantom martial soul, he is two kinds of martial souls. The owners of the two kinds of martial spirits are called twin spirits. On the mainland, martial cultivators with twin spirits are geniuses, while Lin Feng, who is called trash, now has twin spirits. Let's call you Dark Martial Spirit for the time being. Lin Feng smiled slightly. He was able to have twin martial spirits because of the fusion of souls. His soul was a fusion of the souls of two people, so it is not surprising to have twin martial spirits. The ability of the soul, from the current point of view, should be to improve the physical quality. Closing his eyes, Lin Feng began to practice meditation. The vitality of heaven and earth immediately entered Lin Feng's body along Lin Feng's limbs and bones, tempering his body and nourishing his martial soul. 2 hours later, Lin Feng stopped cultivating, and he breathed out a mouthful of milky white turbid air. He only felt refreshed and indescribably happy, and he could not even feel the pain in his body. This is the training of a martial artist, it's amazing. Lin Feng looked at his fists, clenched it hard, and a crackling sound came out, full of power. The training speed seemed to be much faster than he remembered. Lin Feng walked out of the room and saw a huge courtyard in front of him. There were wooden stakes and boulder pillars in the courtyard. These were all used for Lin Feng to practice. Yuyu reading www.yuyukangshu.com. Walking to the stone pillar, Lin Feng used the ninth wave of martial arts, and suddenly the fist wind whistled, piercing the air, as if there were waves distorting the space. Drink! At this moment, Lin Feng let out a loud shout, sinking his waist, retracting his belly, and punching. The tyrannical punch hit the stone pillar like a meteor, and a loud rumbling sound came out, and the stone pillar directly turned into a pile. Stone dust spreads on the ground. Not only that, after the stone pillar was broken by the fist wind, it was still facing forward, and there were several explosions in the air. Heavy waves of air moved forward, hitting another stone pillar, and suddenly another explosion sound came out. The huge stone pillars were separated by 2 meters. Fragmented successively. This should have more than 6,000 kilograms of strength. Lin Feng is very satisfied with this effect. Now his strength has returned to the peak, the 5th level of Qi Wujing, and the martial skill he cultivated is stronger than before, breaking through to the 6th layer waves, so he was able to send out 6,000 caddies of great power at the 5th layer Qiwu realm. It seems that the dark martial arts can not only enhance my vision and hearing, but also improve my training speed and understanding. Lin Feng smiled slightly. In addition to the reason why he was called a waste in the past, he was a person with slow cultivation, poor understanding and high talent. At his age, he has already reached the 6th level of Qi and martial arts were higher, and he is talented at the 5th level of martial arts. Not only that, but his ability to comprehend martial arts is also unsatisfactory. In the case of only cultivating one martial skill of the 9th level wave, it has been stuck in the 5th wave and cannot break through, and is ridiculed by others. But now, with the birth